Welcome to Join the Raid podcast. We are your hosts, Terry and Mr. Savage, and tonight we dive headfirst into life's messiest dilemmas with the finesse of a bull in a china shop and with the wit of two guys who definitely ignored their family's advice at least once. Maybe more than once, but we don't know. We don't want to admit that out loud. Today we're tackling age-old questions. Should you listen to your family for decisions in your life? Is your mom's insistence on marrying that nice accountant a golden nugget of wisdom or a one-way ticket to Snoozeville? Should you follow your uncle's career advice when he still thinks fax machines are the future? I don't know. Maybe you should. He might be onto something. I heard those fax machines are fucking the peak of technological advancement.
3D printers.
3D printers now. Yeah, that's true. But anyways, buckle up because we're about to raid this topic with zero filter, plenty of laughs, and just enough bad decisions to keep it spicy. So let's get to it, Savage. How was your day, Savage?
Yeah, it's not too bad. Yeah, kept busy at work.
Yeah.
But how was your day? What did we do?
Today, I woke up super early for no reason. Went to the gym, came home, and then continued on working on shit randomly just because I'm a workaholic for some reason, and I can't ever do the relaxing thing, no matter how much I force myself to. But, other than that, took care of Apollo, and then wondered how tonight was going to go a little bit. That's about it.
Productive day?
Yeah, sure. Cook dinner and stuff like that, but that's about it. My normal routine, man. It's just been my normal routine. That's all it is. No curveballs yet, but the night's not over yet. All right. How do you know when your family's advice is legit or just them projecting their own regrets? Like when your dad says, don't chase your dreams, sell insurance instead.
That's interesting. I guess you can kind of look at their success in their own life personally. Do they have a house? Do they have a successful job, a business? There's a lot of different things that you can look to your parents to see if they are giving good advice or not. Traumas could affect that as well, so that'd be the negative side of it. So, yeah.
Okay. You kind of hit it on the nail on the head there with me. Same way with me. You look at their life. You look at things they've done, things they've told you about, and you listen to stories from the other family members, things like that. Did they make mistakes? Did they get over those fucking humps? And did they make it to that next level that they wanted to make it? Like their goals, did they actually achieve their goals in the first place?
Mm-hmm.
But that's just from a simplest standpoint. Do you know there's people out there that do absolutely everything that their family suggests?
Oh yeah, there's the full spectrum. There's people that do exactly everything their family tells them to, and then there's people that do the opposite. They'll do the exact opposite what their parents say to do, just in spite of their parents.
Yeah. And I find it weird. And just from how I think all the time, because I don't really do what everybody else tells me to do or suggests to me, even if it's honestly the most perfect setup plan across the fucking board. I'm just like, nah, fuck that. I'm doing it my way. So, it's not built. I'm not built to follow certain people, like not the directives, at least in minimal. But then there's people that don't listen to anything that their family has to say, and they've been there and lived through that, and you've seen the struggles, and they still don't listen to them. And those people I kind of consider ignorant because, I didn't listen to my mom when she said something about drinking and things like that. I was like, nah, I won't have a drinking problem. The first thing I said when I was 18 years old, I'll never have a drinking problem. I said I would never smoke. I said I wouldn't do a lot of shit, man. I've fucking hit every fucking box.
Look where we are now.
I know. Horrible fucking life decisions, but at the same time, I wouldn't turn back the talk and change it because every little mistake I made to get over that hump has been forming me into the person I am today.
Yeah, that's part of life. Parents are there to guide you, not to tell you what to do. Well, they're there to kind of tell you what to do, but for the most part, they're trying to raise you to be the best you can be for your future and guide you and give you help along the way. And if you're just going to do everything your parents tell you to do, you're not going to be able to have a fully functional life when they're no longer there telling you what to do. You're just going
Yeah.
to be like, oh, what's the next step? What do I do? And then you're gonna look to them, and they're gonna be like, look, don't look at us. You live in your own place now. You have your own house, your own kids. So it's okay, I think, to have guidance vastly from your parents and help you along your path, but it's also very important for you as a person, as an individual, to find what you need to do with your own life.
I get that. I definitely get that, dude. That's a good standpoint. I'd probably change it a little bit because I know when I had the kids involved, I did reach out to my mom or other family members because there are certain things that I wasn't prepared for. And, just like they tell you, like, you're going to get back double what you gave us. And I wasn't a horrible child, but I was very confrontational. So I found that in my mini me in spades. And she tick for tack, man. Tick for fucking tack. And I called my mom. I'm just like, what the hell do I do about this? And she just laughed. She just laughed. And she's like, how does it feel? It's like, it doesn't feel good. It's like, good. And she's like, listen to her. I was like, what do you mean? So she's telling you what she needs. Listen to her. And then she hung up the fucking phone on me.
She's like, that's the advice of the day. Click.
Exactly. But then I took that and I did and started having conversations. And it was something that I should have known. But when you're in the situation of this is a little me, so I know what's best, you don't always know what's best. Because they're their own people still. They have their own personalities across the board. They might get bits and pieces of yours because they're around you all the time, but
Exactly.
they literally have their own way of guiding it. Wait, do you think Aunt Karen's got opinions? Nah, no. That sounds stupid. What's the wildest piece of life advice your family's ever dished out? And did you follow it or run screaming in the opposite direction?
This advice.
Yeah. From us, would probably be from a male perspective, family member. Not even gonna lie. That's not a fucking motherly instinct one.
Can't really think of one currently. Not like the wildest thing.
Like the wildest thing.
Yeah, growing up, I was mostly raised by my mother. And yeah, I see my dad on the weekends, but he helped very little in terms of like guidance kind of things because he didn't have a father himself. His dad wasn't around, so it was very hard for him to learn how to be a father to his son. So with my mom, she showed a lot of to be more compassionate towards like people, so that would be that side of the family. But wildest things, I can't really, off the top of my head, I can't think of anything.
Yeah. Okay, I get that. Most people know, like, my father didn't raise me. My mother did, and my grandfather and my grandmother did, and my aunts, uncles. So it's kind of like every child needs a village kind of thing. It was kind of that mindset of raising me and my siblings. So for me, it was my grandfather gave me some advice, and I can't remember word for word, but it was fucking funny. And he told me this when I was 8 years old, and it was about women. And I can't fucking picture it exactly because it's been so long, because he's passed away like when I was in high school. But fuck, I really wish I would have had that written down somewhere because it would fit this so perfectly. But he's along the lines of don't trust women until they're worthy of being trusted, and keep yourself protected. But he said it in the most funny, fucked up way. And it wasn't fucked up the way he said it. It was just because of how it comes across. Because he was a preacher, so he was really, really respectful, really, really religious, and he didn't. He cursed here and there, but he's a southern man, so that happens. It's just one of those things that I just never expected to come out of his mouth.
Yeah.
Because I asked him, I was like, what do I do about this girl? And he's like, she likes you. And then he gave me that piece of advice, and I was like, what the fuck? I think I was like 9. I was like, I don't know what that fucking means.
Yeah.
Then I got older, and I was like, that's what it fucking means.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense because it's like it can happen on both sides of the party, but well, as you know, women can be very seductive, and so by that You can be, especially when you're way younger, you're not as mature, so you can't really see like the good and the bad. You're just like, "A pretty girl likes me," so you kind of get drawn into that situation real
Hold on a
quick.
second. You say not as mature. Man, we grown ass men and we still fall for the same fucking shit no matter what.
As an adult, though, it's less.
Yeah.
For me personally,
No.
for me,
For you personally, I get it, but for some of us who were out and about bars, clubs, all that, we fucking fall for that shit all the
yeah.
goddamn time.
Like, don't get me wrong. If I see that, yeah, obviously, if I was to be a single person and then like an attractive woman is like finds me attractive, then yeah, I'm gonna like be more interested. But I'm not gonna just hop on the bandwagon right off the rip.
Yeah, I get that. For me, man, like I said, impulsive behavior. Even though as thought
Mm,
out as I really am, still the impulsive urges of doing things just happens, and I do them. And I think it's funny because when it happens, some people kind of look at me like, "Uh, you okay, bud?"
yeah.
Yeah. So it's not a bad thing. When it comes to big decisions like relationships or careers, does your family's input make you feel more empowered, or like you're staring in their reboot of My Big Fat Greek Wedding? Not a bad movie, by the way.
It's definitely empowering. Relationship wise. Even a little bit in career. They try to guide me to college, but after I was like, I don't know what I want to do exactly in college, they were like, okay, well, just try to figure out what you want to do. Because I mean, there's no point of going into college if you don't have a set goal in college, because that's just a waste of money.
Yeah,
You're just going to build up a debt that for what you're not going to pay, or you're going to take a while to pay off. Now, in terms of like relationships, yeah, they're very, very helpful in that situation.
good, good, good. I'm again the opposite across the board, which I know it doesn't surprise any fucking body if they get to know me at all.
Yeah,
I don't give a shit what my family or loved ones think about my decisions on like relationships or careers because my mom supported me joining the military. She did. Only thing she asked is I didn't join the army because she's an army vet, and so she's like, just don't join the army and don't join the National Guard. That's all I ask. I was like, that's it. That's it. Any other branch though? So yeah. All right, cool. So it wasn't that bad. Relationships. My mom's never spoken out about a relationship. Actually, verbally spoken out about it. It's always been like, are you happy? Does she make you happy? And are you treating her right? Simple little things. Nothing really on career aspect of things, really, because she knows me and she said this to me like a couple weeks ago. She's like, I never had to really worry about you.
yeah,
I was like, why? I said, you just figure it out on your own. Like, you don't come to me like with so many questions. Like, I mean, yeah, well, there's no point in bothering you. You getting ready your retirement stage, everything like that. Your thought is, living life and enjoying it for the rest of it. So I wouldn't want to put that extra stress on her in the first place, especially when I know I've got myself in a position to have people around me that if I have certain questions or doubts about something, I can ask them. And I don't have to stress them out about it. It's just like, hey, I'm thinking about doing this. What are your thoughts on this? And then they'll say, that's fucking stupid. Or they'll be like, that's not a bad idea. Maybe you should go back to the drawing board a little bit here and there. Or again, they go out the blunt way of saying, why the fuck are you waiting to do this? You know,
yeah,
well, that's just mine. I don't think family's decisions in like your relationship or your career should be a big factor. I get if you are very close with your family and why it is. So I'm not bashing it, saying like I don't understand the dynamic of it, but to me, it doesn't make sense
yeah,
because I'm all about everybody needs to be their own person, make their own choices. Yes, to take in the knowledge and the guidance of other people, but still make it all on your own.
yeah. I get that 100%. I don't think it should be a huge, like you said, it shouldn't be a huge factor. Definitely shouldn't be the deciding factor. Like you date who you want to date, and you'll have to deal with the consequences if there's problems later down the road, or you have a good, happy relationship with that person.
Absolutely.
Then, because it gets a little weird if like your family's deciding who you're dating. at times. I've seen plenty of like things where, you know, I get it in some cultures it's a little different. Like some people are, you know, their marriage is chosen for them, or you know, their relationship in general is chosen for them. Like you can't date this specific kind of ethnic group or religious people, etc., etc. For us, at least for me and for you, it's not like a huge factor in the grand scheme of things.
I don't know. My thing for anyone out there that always uses the weight of their family to make a decision for them would be ask yourself why.
Mm.
Figure out, can you actually make this decision without them every once in a while? To try to wean yourself off that, because they're not always going to be there. You know, life is fleeting all the time. I'm not saying that's going to happen tomorrow, but it can, because of where we live and how we live. Like, even if you're not doing anything, you're being an innocent bystander, and then something happened, car wreck, accident at work. So, you know, if you can't manage to take care of yourself without your family, then I feel like that's your parents failing you.
Mm-hmm.
And I know we've said this plenty of times a couple episodes ago, is, you know, do you raise your children to be successful, actually leave the house? Like, you know, when they go on their own, go to college, go to school, go to military, go, you know, a work career, anything like that, can they take care of themselves? Because you're not setting up for success from the beginning, then what the hell are you doing? You raising those children, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's just my standpoint on it. All right, Savage, for you.
Yes, sir.
When your family gives you advice, how much weight do you actually hold that with? Like, because, you know, from what I've seen, they don't really just push their perspective on you, you know? So what do? Do you like weigh it out? Like, this person's successful in this area, maybe I should listen to it? Or is it just like, we're just fucking word vomiting?
Yeah, it depends on like the situation where the topic it's about. A lot of the times, I take it, especially when someone's like older than me in the family. I take it with like in a hope of wisdom that I can gain some knowledge from that, or you know, more wisdom from their experience, and then take it in and consider it, but not like take it wholeheartedly. Like you said, trust, but
Yeah. That's just one of those things, man. I always do that to a degree, because certain people, I know they don't say things because, like, he's gonna figure it out. But when they do, it's all right, I need to pay the fuck attention right now because they're seeing something I don't see.
yeah.
And stuff like that happens. I just know, okay, cool, need to figure this out. I can't remember who it was that happened last week, and I said something about I can. So Cotton Katie, and Trix. Trix came to me and said, "Hey, I noticed this. I'm not trying to tell you how to run things yet, but I noticed this, and I do see like your reactions to this." So, yeah, he's like, "Why don't you do this, or try that?"
Mm.
I was like, "I do know how to do that, but from my own self, I know what makes people react differently, and I don't want them to be on guard 24/7 when I want to have an open conversation." And he's like, and he said he gets it. He knew exactly how I was going to answer it. And he's like, "But why don't you do this instead?" I was like, "Fuck, you're right."
Hmm.
Frick's is one of those people that I enjoy his knowledge, bits of knowledge, and his perspective a lot, because he doesn't talk a lot. So
Yeah.
when he does talk, it's like, okay, what are we gonna talk about now? So yeah, for myself, it's the same. It's like, it matters who it is. If they're older than me, I try to give them the respect there is. As long as it doesn't come out as belligerence or stupidity, I don't have a problem listening to it.
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly.
one love with a raid. Jesus Christ, sir, you should have been going another 30 minutes. Fuck, lost train of thought. Anyways, I take the weight of what they say, because I look at it as, hey, they're giving me their perspective and everything like that, so I don't know what's going on here and there. So I'm going to go ahead and just take a look at it, listen to it, and figure out what it is they want to talk about. If it's something that's always verbal over and over again, and they just literally want to push their agenda, push their perspective on me, I'm against that. yeah, I just let that perspective go no matter what. Because if you push what you believe on me, I tend to react very aggressive and rudely and brash, and then go through the details of why they're wrong. Like no matter who it is, but that's just me. Yeah, it's all good, man. I can ignore it, and we can always edit it out, so it's not a big deal. You know what I'm saying? Power of editing.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. Let's go here. If your family's pushing you to follow their traditional path, taking over a family business, how do you balance respect with your own dreams of, say, opening a cat yoga studio? Because I know you love cats so much.
You want to answer this one yourself first?
Yeah, because I am currently um dealing with something like this, which is not going to be out there yet. But for myself, I'm weighing out the pros and cons because I chose to go to the military. I chose to do that. I chose to live on the East Coast for so long. I chose to travel around for so long on my own, what I wanted to do so much. So I lived a good life already. A lot of struggles, a lot of trials, a lot of tribulations, but I've lived a good, decent life of doing what I wanted to do, even doing this right now. So I'm putting in perspective of maybe it's a good way to do it. Maybe that's what's wrong with me right now. Maybe that's why I'm unhappy certain points of time of like I don't have enough to do. You know that? So it's just, do I choose to do that and then again uproot again, move, and which isn't as far as like 2-3 hours, so it's not that bad, but then start rebuilding a life again.
Mm.
And I know you know me, I kind of have a schedule to everything I fucking do, and it's a how do I adjust it to the right way that where I'm more comfortable so I'm good with what I'm doing no matter what. Nothing's gonna disrupt my schedule, you know? That's just me on that one. Cause for me it's just it all matters on what it is exactly. It has to be really specific for me to say like, yeah, I want to do that. I want to jump in the family business, things like that. And I gotta want to believe in it and actually love doing what it is too. Because if there's no passion for me to keep doing it, then I'm just gonna half-ass it, and then I'll be like, you know what, fuck this, I'm out.
Yeah. Yeah, that
You know,
I can agree wholeheartedly. Like you said, the passion is a big key component, which is like why I struggled for so long to find like a job I really wanted to do, is because I can't really find the passion behind it to find that specific job. So anytime I looked at something, it's always like, I don't know. So in terms of like if like a family just said that, then yeah, I definitely, if there's no passion behind it, then I definitely wouldn't agree to it. I'd be like, well, if I don't want to do it, I'm not gonna do it. A lot of the times, I take the job because it pays better, and then it pays the bills, and that's that really. Yeah. So yeah, like you said, passion. That's a huge part of it.
yeah, I grasp that. I get people that work to pay the bills because it's about survival. You gotta reach so you can take care of yourself, take care of your bills, take care of everything else you do, like to keep maintaining your lifestyle that's comfortable for you.
Mm-hmm. Your
So
family and everything. Yeah.
yeah, then you gotta involve the family with that. Is your family gonna suffer from your choices to follow your other family, or your immediate family? Like you have a wife, kids, things like that. Like, are they gonna suffer from you taking your mother, father's, uncles, or grandparents' advice? You gotta put that into perspective as well. So yeah, all right. So share a time you ignored your family's advice.
Hmm.
Did it lead to a good scenario coming, or are you still apologizing at Thanksgiving?
Ignored advice, huh?
Yeah, mine is mine is probably when, and everybody's gonna think this is fucking wild as fuck, but when I said I was gonna go follow in my grandfather's footsteps of being on the religious path, being a preacher, and then when I got to graduation, I said fuck that.
Yeah.
But
Pastor life is not for me.
yeah, it wasn't even that standpoint because I love talking to people, I love teaching and things like that. It's just the fact of I had a lot of doubt. So, it's one of those things that, it didn't work out for me. Like, and the thing is, I said I wanted to do that for a while, and I knew I wanted to join the military for a while. And it's just, I decided I'm going to join the military. I'm going to have fun. I'm going to go see shit. Because, I was in a small town, man. Like a small town. Like, I think it was like 500 people max. And most of them were elderly. And most younger kids and stuff like that, most of us left. Because honestly, it's a great place to settle down and fucking retire. Growing up, like after like high school, there's no reason to be there anymore. From my perspective, at least. Yeah. What about yourself?
So it's interesting. It's like I can't really. I don't have like a situation where I ignored an advice. It was more of like I remember. Well, I guess in a sense, it was a situation where my first vehicle, it was a Bronco, 95 Bronco. It was nice, but it had some mileage on it. Pretty beat up at this time. And I'm senior, maybe freshman in college. All right, so the situation is actually going back to like the previous question was like, or situation like you said, like, guys at younger ages will do stupid things. Even today, you'll do stupid things. So, two women I knew in high school, they were twins and they wanted to go to the beach. But my vehicle is all messed up and I shouldn't drive. So, but my mom gave me the advice, said, you shouldn't drive this vehicle. And I got pissed because as a guy, I wanted to go to the beach with two attractive women and hang out with them. That's,
There's nothing wrong with that, dog. That especially that
but,
young. Why fuck
but
not?
she was 100% right because the vehicle was in a bad shape and it was not like drivable. And so at the end of the day, I followed her, her instructions not to drive. The initial thought was there that I should ignore it and go because I wanted to have a good time.
Yeah, I would have fucking left. I would have went. I'm pretty sure. Like, I swear to God, please don't come for me later on, dude. But me and my buddy went out to a lake house. I'm not saying the name because that way he won't get so mad. Went out to the lake house. I was dating this girl all the time. Yeah, well, we didn't tell anybody. We went out to the lake house and we gone all weekend. Came back. The girl I was dating at the time's at my house. His girlfriend's at my house.
Mm.
And we're just like, what's going on? And they're like, where you been at? And he gets out of the truck. He does not give a shit. He's like, oh, we went out to the fucking lake. What's up? Something about Southern women. They don't play. So we're not saying how that story ended, but let's just say we did not do that ever again. But yeah, it was a great time. But yeah, Connor, I know. You would have drove it. Yeah, I would have drove it too. That's just me. I'm stubborn like that, especially with something I wanted to do. Okay. Is there a specific family member whose advice is like law to your family? Yeah, I'm asking you.
I know, but I hear her giggling in the background.
Oh yeah, of course she is.
It's like law. That's definitely my mom. Like I said before. That growing up with her mainly as a single parent for the vast majority of the growing up, she was basically law and order. So
Yeah.
I'd definitely go to her on that.
For my family, before she passed, it was my granny. Anything and everything she said was law. Doesn't matter if you think she's wrong, whatever. You didn't say shit. You didn't say a damn thing because you're either gonna get your ass whooped or somebody else can whoop your ass because you didn't listen. So we learned that it was a thing of, it wasn't just respect. It was the fact of she's seen more, she knows more, especially in the world where we lived and how it came to be. And she taught us so much. She taught us so much. She had her own sayings about certain things, like especially like growing up, hearing like boys don't cry, things like that. And she looked at me and she see me crying. She's like, yeah, the more you cry, the less you pee. I was like, what? So you're gonna sleep real good tonight because you cried so much. I was like, Jesus Christ. And my head's like, that's not fucking comforting at all. But she means well. She meant well across the board. But I knew nobody loved me like she did either because she took so much time in teaching me how to cook, teaching me like how to clean chickens, how to garden, how to do so much stuff around the house and cleaned properly and things like that. So everyone loved her too, no matter how much she pissed them off with some of the things she had to say, because she didn't stay quiet at all. And the thing is, she never yelled. She never yelled. She just talked. Everybody fucking listened. And I looked at that now. I'm like, that's a fucking great deal of fucking respect across the board, especially the strong personalities in my fucking family.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's why I was like, cool. I understand it. So yeah, that's who lays down the law in my family, or who did. And we've all been here before, so let's go ahead and do it. As an adult fresh out of high school, how do you navigate family advice from college to first jobs or joining the military, anything like that? How did you navigate that? Do you get the stable 9 to 5? Did you go to school and say, yeah, do that? And did your family have any influence on what you decided to do after high school?
Oh yeah, yeah. No, the original like transaction was, like I said before, go to college, get like a part-time job, all that stuff. But then after a year or two, I still had no like clear direction. So then from there, I decided what direction I wanted to go. I took the initial advice, which was good advice, but I just added a layer to it to be more responsible with my financial situation and future. Because I saw that, like, yeah, it's a good idea to go to college or even go to a trade school if that's what you want to do. But at the end of the day, you got to make sure that you know what you're aiming for first before you take those first steps into school. Otherwise, you're just wasting time and money.
That's very true. Very true. Most people don't think like that, though.
Yeah.
They're like, we'll get a loan and we'll pay it off later. And nobody realizes how much those fucking loans really are.
Oh yeah, no, the loan I paid it off, but it was, even for me, it was about, I think it was like $6,000, which is relatively cheap, but it was, I was going to community college at the time,
Yeah.
and it was just going to keep adding up if I just stayed there without like a clear goal in mind.
I've kind of hit a nail on the head. My mom just said, just don't join the army or the fucking National Guard. Do what you want. Like, just make sure you want to do it. And that's all I did. So I did what I wanted. So I didn't think about finances at all. Like I researched like the military paycheck and all that, and then in my head was like, I make more of this shit on the summer working in the summertime.
Yeah.
But it's like, I want to do this. There's got to be some reason why people stay in the military and things like that. And I joined, and then I realized why. And it was fucking fantastic for me. Let's see here. I put this in here just purposely because I say this all the fucking time, and I thought it'd be a missed opportunity not to say it. Why listen when they're not winning?
Mm,
Why should you listen to your family when they state they want what's best for you, but aren't doing better for themselves? Like preaching financial wisdom while being buried in credit card debt, or stating that you need to stay in shape physically and everything like that, but there's nothing medically wrong with them to keep them from being that same thing, and they don't do it. Like I find that super hypocritical across the board, especially to preach it so much.
oh yeah, maybe because they're ashamed of themselves at the same time. And although they are ashamed of themselves and don't take the initiative to fix it, they don't want to see their children fall into the same trap.
Yeah.
So like it's more like, it's kind of like the do as I say, not as I do kind of thing. Like they know that what they're doing isn't the right thing, but they want they want their children to do the better thing for themselves. But at the same time, too, if they want to make a good impression, then they themselves should do it, so that way they can show, like, if you do this, it is possible. Here's the steps. We can do this together, or just show them like the path they can possibly take for themselves.
Yeah, I agree with that. My thing is, why would you want to preach something you've never done yourself, or
Mm,
haven't like actually done full effort to make sure that it's right or wrong? Because I don't like giving out advice if I haven't been through it myself, or I haven't researched it so thoroughly that I'm so confident in it.
yeah, experience. Yeah.
It's experience, it's research, just to see that there's another avenue, just in case, to make it better.
Mm-hmm.
But luckily, my family doesn't do that. They don't say you should do this, you should do that. They say, "Do you really want to do this?" It's like, "Yeah." It's like, "All right, cool, that's it." And then that's the end of the conversation. But I've seen some things, and I'm just like, "Why the fuck are you taking advice from them?" Like literally telling them how to spend their money, how to fucking finance, how to be financially secure. But I'm like, but they're not. They're borrowing money from you all the fucking time. So why are you taking advice from them? And that fucking drives me up a goddamn wall. And I literally look at them and say, "You're fucking stupid. Like, you have a brain." And then I look at them like, "You have a fucking college degree in psychology, and you can't fucking see this fucking shit in front of you."
Mm.
So, it's just fucking weird to me, and it drives me up a goddamn wall because I'm like, I want people to win in their own way. But at the same time, it's like when I see you go down certain paths and I see you fucking setting yourself up for failure all the time, I'm just like, cool. I'm gonna try to fucking help with just my words, but I know I'm gonna be pissed off at the end of the day after having this conversation.
Yeah. Yeah. I get that 100%. It's kind of like you said, like a credit card. You max out your credit card, and then you keep doing that over and over again. You're wondering why your credit score is so shit, and it's like, well,
Yeah.
if you don't have control over your spending and a budget and all that, then you're gonna have problems. I mean, I have 2 credit cards, but I barely use them. I only use them for certain situations that could be either, financially need to put something down just for, fixing a car or something, etc. Or, like example was the monitor I just bought. The monitor broke. I needed a second one, so I got another one and I put it down on the credit card and I'll pay it off for like almost instantly. Like within a
Yeah.
month or two, I'll pay it right off. That's also a bonus because then it also increases your credit score. Like the faster you do that, it's gonna bump up your credit score, and people a lot of times credit companies will look at that and say, "Oh, this guy's uh, always paying back his credit card, what he owes." So then they actually increase the amount that you can have on that credit card.
Yeah. Have you ever gotten a credit card and you're like, I know my limit right here, and then all of a sudden you realize it's like double? You're like, what the fuck?
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's the one I have. It doubled like the last year, and I was like, okay, it's nice, but I'm not gonna just start buying stuff.
Yeah. That's the sentiment. That's what it gets you. Like, we're going to just make it a little bit more and see if he uses it more. But the thing that people don't realize is some people have to use those credit cards for survival. And I
Mm-hmm.
understand that because of certain situations they're in. And not all of it's always their fault. So I get it of doing that. So I'm not bashing it. I want everybody to understand. I'm not bashing you if you have to use your credit card for survival purposes. That's fine. It makes sense. Get through the next day. I would say sit down with somebody to figure out how to get out of that situation the right way if you have
Yeah.
the avenue. But yeah, has any of your family members ever meddled in your love life?
Mm,
Like saying, simple things like, I don't think they're a good match for you, or, things like that.
meddled in it. They've had their own opinions, but not like meddled in it. Like make it harder or easy or whatever. They just they'll be like, yeah, okay. I mean, as long as you're happy,
Yeah.
do your thing. Besides that, no, not really.
Not
Not for,
really.
no, not for me. Luckily.
Well, that's good. That's a fucking wonderful thing. Every single time. Wow. Wait, every time?
Well, they like me, so I'm good.
Yeah, yeah. I was just saying, man. Like that would make me lose my fucking shit so much. Unless there's good reason, like they saw something you didn't see. You know, I get that they still ask regardless. Regardless, oh, you're talking to him. Okay, I got
Yeah,
you.
sucked at
Got
me.
you.
Yeah,
I mean, I get that, but to me, I'm just like I kind of want to make my own choices and fuck ups across the board, even if it makes me look like an idiot. Like no
yeah,
matter what, because that way I know for myself and can feel it for myself and can tell for myself that I learned from certain these habits instead of having some kind of, in my way, I think that's like a safety net. Too much of a safety net when you're after a certain age. That's why I'm like, that's not a bad thing. It's just who they are, unless it's, he says, let me. Yeah, I can't say that. I can't say that because this is going out. I can't say that. So yeah. But yeah, I get that. That makes sense. that is a father, honestly, a good father.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Like I said, I've never had that. My mom's asked me concern one day about something, and it was just like, "Are you sure you want to do this?" And that was
Mm.
it. That was it. I was like, "Yeah, I am." She's like, "Okay." And in my head, I should have fucking had the red flag of, "What the fuck did she see that I didn't see?" But it's one of those things.
Outside perspective. Sometimes
Yeah,
they see.
yeah. And I know me. I know me. When I'm in a relationship, I'm blind as fuck to a lot of fucking shit. As much as I try to help other people or do everything like that for my own. Like I can give good advice. I can't fucking take it to save my goddamn life. I'm honest with it about it at least. I'm a stubborn asshole. So it's just how I am though. When family pushes you towards safe careers like law or medicine, but you're looking at something more edgier, like I don't know if you do this, but maybe you would. I don't know yet. Like stand up comedy or, something in tech. Whose voice wins out in your head?
Oh, it's always going to be mine. Like I said, I'm going to have like a passion for it. And in jobs, like, I wouldn't want a job that's very demanding, like in like a medical sense. Like this person's life is in your hands. I don't want that situation. I don't want to be in charge of someone else's life.
You don't want the trauma dog?
No, I'm good. Like I don't want to be doing open heart surgery or basic stuff like that, or not basic, but other medical procedures like that. It also doesn't really. It's a long studying thing and very exhausting career. Very beneficial and wealthy career, I will say. As a doctor, you can make a lasting life with that, but also very tiresome as well. Long
Yeah.
hours, all that kind of stuff. Because I value my time as well. I would like to have a job that's where, yeah, I get like 50 to 60 hours in maybe, but also be able to enjoy my time off from work. So there's like a mixed bag of things. Plus, like you said, I wouldn't enjoy like being a comedian on stage just because I don't like being in front of crazy crowds like that. I would not be able to do what I would have to be doing on stage in front of like 300 people. I would definitely freeze up.
I have a question for you.
Hmm.
Don't me like that. So, hypothetical, for anybody
Uh-huh.
says anything,
Hypothetical. Okay.
if the podcast gets really fucking big, there's
Yeah.
going to be like, live
Yeah.
podcast in front of people, right?
Yeah. That's fine.
That's going to be fine.
Yeah.
I just wondered because it's just
Because
an interesting question.
that's just like, I guess when you're doing a comedy, you're doing like a sketch, you're doing like, you could be yourself and be goofy. You can be like, but you have to be talented at that stuff too. And I'm not that talented to that point. Like I could be funny sometimes, but I'm not like Matt Rife or, Kevin Hart or whoever you want to think, Chris Rock, etc.
I mean, my point of view for comedian standpoint, Matt Rife isn't a good comedian. He's great crowd control,
Crowd
right?
comedian, yeah.
Crowd work,
Crowd work is what he
yes,
does, yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah,
Just
that, yeah.
straight up comedian jokes and stuff like that, not that best.
No, no.
He's not like on that level of like Gabriel
Yeah.
Iglesias, Fluffy, or
Yeah.
or even Cat Williams, things like that. He's not on those levels like that for me.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, it's just I think that it'd be interesting to see.
Mm.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. I look, you said it. I have to ask the goddamn question. That's just who I
On
am.
like a big podcast, but it's like a lot of the times that big podcast is like in a studio or something, you're vibing, hanging out, and you're just talking. You're not like in a room full of like hundreds of people around you. That's not
Have
usually how
you have
podcasts
you
do.
have you seen like the dynamic of how podcasts are changing because they do the live ones too? Yeah, because
And
like when they get a certain success rate, they end up having a choice of staying in the studio or doing both studio and some crowd with
mm,
them. That way, you get more interaction, more engagement, and more people get familiar with you, and they actually
mm,
want to meet you. And that's what it comes to the dynamic of. I would love to do that standpoint because I love not knowing what somebody's going to say. That way, I can just figure out ways to talk to them and get to relate to them and figure out where they are, what they're going through, and just figure out their talks on what we're talking about in general.
okay.
You know,
Yeah. I'm more of like the just talking to the person I'm talking to in the podcast.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind trying out the other one where you're like someone like not even just political debaters that go out and like or college campuses, etc. You know, that talk to crowds, live crowds, and all that. Like you said, you get a natural reaction from everyone because you never know who you're going to get up, who's going to be coming up and talking to you, or someone just talking to you in general.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to see like you said, a crowd of 300 people like watching you and you're talking. That would be a little different though for me. It wouldn't be too bad because I can just focus on that one person I'm engaging with instead of trying to entertain everyone at the same time. I can fixate on that one person and
Yeah.
just talk to that person, and then
Yeah.
basically make the other people in the background disappear.
All right. Nice, nice, nice. Like that. All right. Let's see here. We got like 3 more parts left, and that's it. As a grown adult, do you factor in potential family fallout? Like, I don't know if you have this or not, like being cut out of a will, being cut out of property or anything like that, or a family heirloom that you really want from like a great grandfather or something like that, or grandmother, when ignoring their advice on big life news like buying a house or starting a business. Do you feel like that's going to cause a factor for you?
No, not for me. A lot of the times with family, we're pretty, even though we're not always engaging, we're not hanging out a whole lot because we're all doing our own thing. We still respect each other enough so that like something like you said, like a will or something would not get in the way of like family. Like we're not gonna be like going into our house after but God forbid like my mom passes away or something, and me and my sister are gonna start arguing who gets what over the house. That's not something I would do. And
Yeah.
I'd be focusing more on like the family as a whole instead of focusing on material things.
Okay. Okay. I'm kind of based on the same way, is because I'm not materialistic very much. I'm more about people in general. Honestly, if somebody was to sign me out of a will or out of land or anything like that, I'd just be like, all right, dude, have fun with it. I know how much work that's going to be, but yeah,
Yeah,
have fun with it. That's just me though, because I'd be like, cool. Like, I sent your fiance a picture that I haven't seen in like a couple of years, um, from my mom, and it's like me as a child. And my youngest picture, I think I was like 3. I don't have baby pictures or anything like that, so that is considered my baby picture.
yeah,
And she saved it, and I'm just like, fuck.
yeah. I have
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, I know. You
yeah,
said, hey, send it to me. I was like, yeah, I did, and then I saw it saved. I was like, if I delete this, there's no telling
yeah.
if she actually saved this somewhere else or took a picture with something else, because I'm paranoid. So I'm like, there's no point in deleting that now because she's got multiple different avenues of fucking saving this fucking picture.
It's like me, like with like the only picture I have of myself as a baby. My mom gave me a picture from when I was literally like a toddler, like I don't know how many months old, but
Yeah,
it's her and my dad holding me as a baby in a picture, and it's like wow, it's in like mint condition. So I was like, okay, I'll preserve this because it's a nice picture. That's like the only picture I have of family. The only other pictures I have is with obviously boss lady. Me and her taking pictures all the time. So I didn't
that's
say it
funny.
was a shameful. I was just saying that's the only pictures I have.
Nobody's shaming you for them. It's just like, from my perspective, the dynamic. I think the only ones in my immediate family, like my mom, brothers, and sister, the ones that have the most pictures are the baby brother and baby sister, because that's when my mom was in the military, so she was around more, things like that. So she had the capacity and the time to do it. Like, I think some people say it's weird that I don't have baby pictures. It's like, mom was in the military,
Mm,
full out military. She wasn't like reservist or anything like that. So she was always busy. I was either in daycare or with somebody else while she was doing the work when we were in Germany and things like that. And then when she came back, like, it was literally she went to work and she was not stopping. So it was another thing of capacity and time. She saw as provide for me is more important than pictures. And I completely agree with that, you know? So it is what it is. It's a good thing. All right. I wish your fiance would have came on for this one. Not gonna lie, because this question was literally right at her. Why does family advice feel outdated for millennials and Gen Z? Like suggesting you pound the pavement for jobs instead of LinkedIn stalking. I knew she'd understand both those references.
That's interesting.
For me, pound the pavement for jobs is really what I do when I go looking for a job. I don't only just apply online, I actually go to the businesses. I email the HR. I actually go call them. I'm an asshole when I want a job. I'm literally like, give me this goddamn job or I'll never let your phone ring for anything else again. And nobody realizes that shows that you want the fucking job. They say, oh, that's too much work. Say, no, it's not. I'm literally sitting down, pressing call. That's all I'm doing. Or I have an email pre-written already and just copy it, paste, and send, and just do the same thing over and over again. Because it shows determination. It shows the fact that you want to have it no matter what. Because
Yeah.
nobody else is doing that. Nobody else is trying that hard. They just literally leave it up to, like, when they get to it, they get to it.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
I get that. I'm a '90s kid, so we're like in the between of like being completely lazy, but also still like not at the same time. Or like one of the last, like pretty much like the last generation that before the newest ones where they're just so reliant on technology and they expect like everything to be just given to them, so they don't have to like really fight for it. They don't have to like try really hard for it.
I don't think it's dying. I know I get where you're coming from on that one, but for me, the capacity isn't there anymore. It's
Yeah,
different.
that too.
They are basically taught that this is how you do it. It's not really 100%. I'll say it's not 100% their fault. It is on their conditioning of where they are and what they actually are doing to get to that standpoint. Because I know some 14-year-olds to 17-year-olds that are busting their ass working right now.
Yeah.
And then you have, like, let's say somebody our age, like in their 30s, not even caring if they get the job or not. They apply, they don't do anything else after that. There's no due diligence, no look into the company, no, like, and that's why I think in my head is wild and crazy. Why would you apply for a job that you look at the general brief summary of it and say that looks good? But I don't know many people that go to the website, the company website, and say, let me figure out their work dynamic, their work environment, and everything like that, and see what their social structure is like. Just because in an interview they always ask, do you know our work dynamic and structures and things like that. Like, I aim to impress the interviewer every fucking time, of either one out knowing more than they do or be on the same level, never underneath. That way they know, oh, he put forth the effort. That makes you look like you have more to give than everyone else who's like, oh, I don't know. Cause I'll tell you this from firsthand experience, having a fucking degree don't mean shit most of the time.
No. Yeah, it's experience and then degree. They both come hand in hand, really. But
Even then, it's not even that. It's literally, can you woo this person to say, yo, I like them? Because usually that's where this dynamic is like, they want people they can work with.
yeah.
Because it's easy to train somebody to do whatever the fuck you want them to, no matter how complicated it is.
Oh yeah.
So the degrees and shit like that is just showing that you have the effort and the wherewithal and capacity to start something and finish it. Experience shows that you have knowledge for it.
Hmm.
Then the interview process is, do you fit in with us or not?
Yeah. A good example of that is with Elon Musk through Tesla. Like Jobs, it's like, yeah, a degree is nice, but if you can show that you have the capacity to do the job, if you show that you are determined, that you have a high intellect, that you're able to do the job, then a lot of the times, if you can, he'll be like, all right, I'll give you a chance. Here you go.
Well, people don't always know that. And the last question: have you ever taken family advice just to avoid the endless nagging, and then only to regret it later? Like setting for a boring job because that's what responsible adults do. You know,
I
or
definitely have.
settling for a boring job. I can't English today.
No, it's fine. Advice I definitely have. Yeah, my I love my grandmother, but she can be a little out of touch with today's reality.
Man, that's
Um,
just that's just
it is
that's
what it
just that
is.
generation. That's just that generation, man. They don't ever keep up to date on tech and stuff like that and how things change. This their way. Most of the time, it's their way. and then everybody else is wrong.
Yeah,
So
and that's yeah. So and it's not just me; it's also my sister too. She's the same exact way with her, and we usually try to talk to her and allow her to speak her mind, and then be like, well, this is how it is. But at the end of the day, we're like, okay, yeah, all right, yes, Grandma, okay. Can I just say yes, just to stop the conversation because we can see that the conversation is not going anywhere.
you see, that wouldn't work with my granny. She wants complete feedback. She'd have the conversations with you, not just saying yes. And then she'd be like, "So why did you think that?" Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it's like, so then you have to really sit down and process it. And then my granny just smile at you, like, yeah, you're going to think about this. You're going to think about all of this right now. And we're going to have a long, long conversation about it to figure out if your head's in the right space. Did you do it the right way? Did you fuck up somewhere? She would never say that, but that's just my way of saying it. So yeah, no, my granny did not swear at all. And I don't understand how, because she put up with my ass for so damn long. So for me, is I think the only family advice I've ever taken in my whole life was make sure you enjoy what you're doing. And I thought it was a cop out kind of thing, and then I started enjoying what I was doing. So I was like, that's a good family advice, but that's most of it. And then the other is my granny always said they'll always pay fools more than someone serious.
Mm-hmm.
And on my head, I was like, that's the dumbest thing I ever heard. And then growing up, seeing big comedians getting paid, and then people that are serious that do the right thing and try to do everything they can, don't make shit really, And it's looking at it like, that's weird. And then looking at, like, from the veteran standpoint, look at the veteran VA volunteers, things like that go above and fucking beyond to help
Mm.
some people that actually need it.
Yeah.
They don't get shit. They don't
Yeah.
get nothing. They don't even get recognition most of the time. They're just
Yeah.
like, yeah, thanks for coming. You come back next week. That's it. So it's just like, my granny had a good point.
Yeah. No, that's like you said. It's very a lot of the times the hardest worker doesn't get paid a lot. It
Oh, of course
dips.
not.
It happens to a lot of people in a lot of jobs. I've seen it time and time again, and it sucks. But a lot of the times, the boss themselves will abuse that because they're like, "Oh, you're gonna work hard. That means you're reliant, but I'm not gonna pay you more because you're working harder. I'm just gonna use you because while you're here and you're very reliant." And that's how the person should be reliant, but they should also be some benefit to being that top person.
Yeah. From my standpoint, at least from what I've seen all the time, is that worker that's always busting their ass, going above and beyond, things like that. The common denominator behind them is they are good people. They lack that killer instinct to say, fuck them, I'm not helping them because they're slacking. I'm not covering for them because it's not my job to actually pick up their slack. It's not my job description and anything like that. And everybody's like, well, you should do it anyways because you work here. We're a team. Like, if we're a team, then why aren't we all doing the same amount of work? And I always state that. And everybody's like, well, you're not a team. You're not really a team person. So actually, I am a fantastic team person. If you carry you share your load. You don't ever look at people and say like, oh yeah, we'll work together, but they don't do anything. They're just there for the ride. And I'm like, that's fucking not being a team. That's you fucking using and abusing somebody else for your privilege. So yeah, but I'll get off my goddamn soapbox about that because I can talk about that for fucking hours. But yeah, you got anything you want to talk about?
No, not currently. No, nothing that's popping up in my head right now.
Okay. Um. So I've been in touch with the Right View. So we're going to do something else again. This one I know you are passionate about. All right, we're gonna beforehand. I'm gonna tell you what it's about. It's not directly involved with Charlie Kirk, but it's everything surrounding it and like other people's reactions, how they've been acting, and things like that. So this is the only spoiler I'll ever fucking give out like that. So yeah, I'm gonna deep dive social media, which I fucking hate, and deal with all this shit and figure out some good examples here and there. We'll make sure they stay within TOS. We're gonna have a good time with it. We're gonna have conversations with it. And then we're gonna give it to the Right View, and he's gonna do his, and then we're gonna go back and forth.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's going to be an interesting concept. It's a different idea, and I just had it randomly today, and I hit him up, and he said, "Fuck yeah, let's do this." So we're going to do that. So for people out there that don't know, we cover everything, and I'll say this again: absolutely every fucking thing. So if you come in next time we do a podcast and it's political, don't say we don't do politics. Just so you know, we cover every fucking aspect of everything. We talk about everything because it needs to be talked about.
Mm-hmm.
I don't give a fuck about what you're comfortable with. If you don't like it, then just don't tune in. That's it. But yeah, thank you all for hanging out with us tonight. And yeah, do the thing. Like, comment, subscribe. Have a good time. And if you ever want to have such a question, join the Discord. Jump in there. Talk to us. If you ever want to feel like what we're saying is not the best way to say it, come in there and talk to us. Or comment on our socials, say that's not what we think or what we believe, or anything like that. Because we'll have the conversation with you no matter which platform it is.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing about us. We'll talk, and we're not going to belittle you. We're not going to just decimate you online or anything like that, but we will attempt to educate you in why we think the way we do.
Perspective.
And
yeah.
100% perspective. And we will, well, I know he'll be respectful. I will do my damn best. I'm all saying, I will do my best. But it's one of those things, like, I swear to God, if somebody says again that the earth is flat, I might fucking crash the fuck out on fucking Twitter. I really might crash the fuck out. But yeah. Well, that's it. Thank you very much.